Okay, so we're going to talk about how to work Josey's remote collar. So this is going to be the remote, and then I'm going to refer to this as the receiver or the collar. So the collar can't be turned on until you touch the magnet to the magnet key. So you can see right here, there's a little red dot area. The remote has a matching red dot. What you need to do is touch the two together. You'll see a green light, that means it's on, and it'll flash green every few seconds to let you know that it's on and charged. So we'll watch it flash green. Same thing to turn this off, you just touch the two together, touch, and it turns off. I'll give you kind of a side view. You touch them green, touch them red, and it's off. So we'll turn that on and set that off to the side for now. So the remote, you turn it on with this big button right here. It has an L on it for light, and I'll explain that feature. So to turn the remote on, you need to push and hold it. So I'm going to push down, hold it for a few seconds, and then it'll have a blue screen with the information on it. So it is set to Josey's level. You do not have to adjust anything, but I'm going to show you how to in case that ever happens. So I pushed down and I held this. Now you'll see on the screen that it says 1D and it says 20 and also a letter M. What the letter M means is momentary. So that means if I push down on this button and I hold it, it will only give a momentary stimulation, which means just a little tap correction. So we want that to happen because we're no longer having to use escape conditioning, which was we would apply the stimulation until Josey did the command and then let the stimulation go. So that means both of these buttons are momentary buttons. What the red button does is a boost. So let's say you have Josey out on a walk and you've gotten to the point where you're almost off leash, you're kind of trusting him a little bit more, and he sees something super distracting like a squirrel or a rabbit. You can push the red button, and what that's going to do is that's going to boost the momentary stimulation plus 15. Now even though I'm pushing and holding and you can see that it goes up to what, 35, it only stimulates him once. So tap, tap if you need it. He has not needed it with me. I've never used this button with him, but it is a feature that I like to show in case you ever need that. So if for some reason you turn your remote on and it doesn't say M and it says C, I'm going to show you how to fix it. So this little button over here is M/C. This controls whether it's momentary, continuous, or momentary and continuous. So we push and hold this button until we hear a beep. So it beeped and you see it change to C. That means it's going to continuously stimulate no matter how long your hand is on the button. For however long your finger is on the button, it's going to stimulate. He doesn't need that, right? That's with both. It's going to be continuous stimulation on both buttons, the black S button and the red S button. So to change it back to momentary, you're going to have to find this little button on the back right here, the M/C. You're going to push and hold it. Beep. Now you say MC. That means this is momentary, this is continuous. Again, we used that style when we were working with him in the beginning, talking about escape conditioning. He's no longer at escape conditioning. We've moved on to avoidance conditioning. So we push this button again, push and hold it. Beep. We're back at our momentary setting. Now we're going to talk about the level 20. He's at level 20 out of 100. So it's really not that significant of a number to be at a correction. That's pretty average for most of the dogs that I work with. But if for some reason it's not set to 20, I'm going to tell you how to set it back to that. So this adjusts the stimulation intensity, right? You see it's not moving right now because I have it locked. How to unlock it is you push down and hold it for a few seconds and it should unlock. So the 1D is now flashing, meaning that your level is not locked. It can be adjusted. So I can adjust it, all the way up. I can adjust it all the way down. You shouldn't really have to, but if you turn it on, you notice, hold on, he's not at level 20 anymore. What happened? You can push and hold it, unlock it, adjust it back to level 20, push and hold it, and it'll lock back at 20, so you can't accidentally turn it up and turn it down. So now we're going to talk about the button on this side. This means vibrate. So you can see it's just buzz. It just vibrates. I use this as a warning for him. So not super often do I use it. It's just like if he's doing really, really good and he just messes up a little bit, I'll just say, hey, you know, straighten back up. So you can choose to use this or not. I would not rely too heavily on the vibration. You want him to listen to you because you want him to respect you, you want him to get the treat, and you want him to avoid the stimulation. He can get used to vibrate a lot faster than he can get used to the stimulation. So next we're going to talk about the charging points. They're both rechargeable. Right here's the charging port. Your box will come with a charger. You can charge them both at the same time. I'd say if you left this turned on all day and turned it off at night, it'd last you about 2 days. This will last you maybe 4 to 5. The charging point for right there is underneath the collar. Make sure this is shut all the way because this is waterproof, but if it's open, it's going to cause water damage inside. So make sure it's shut. With his hair, these contact points have worked really well so far. If you notice that he's not really feeling the collar, they do have a little bit longer contact points in the box, but I've noticed this has done a really good job. This is what it's set at for him. You can just clip it. I'll show you how to put it on him. It should fit nice and high on either side. You can rotate the collar from one side to the other. However, if you do that, I ask you to unclip it, rotate the little receiver where you want it, and then clip it again. I think that's all I have to show you with the remote. Just to explain when you use this, it's when you're giving him a correction. So let's say, for example, he's walking next to you on a loose leash and you're passing a bicycle and he does a little lunge towards it. You would say no, push the S black button, stimulation, repeat the command, heel. That's going to be for everything. Let's say he's on place and he tries to get off. No, push the button, place. So you're always going to say no, give the correction with the button, and repeat the command. And I think that's it. All right, on to obedience. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and record now. Little far.
No. Heel.
Good, and then relax your arm.
Good boy.
Very good.
So much.
Let's go ahead and turn around. Go ahead and relax your arm a little bit. There you go. That leash should be nice and loose. And he's going to go at your pace. So you can always switch up your pace too. You can go fast, slow. You want to be a little unpredictable on your walks because sometimes they'll just get in a routine and then they will stop thinking about what they're doing.
Okay.
Go ahead and stop. Now he can sit automatically, but you can also tell him sit. So you can give him a little praise and a little petting.
Boy, you did good.
So then tell him to heel and start walking again. So he doesn't know how to, quote, finish, which means jump into heel position. That's like advanced obedience. But as long as you say heel and start walking and he makes his way over to your left-hand side, that's perfect. And you can just kind of, you know, you can be as strict as you want. I suggest being super strict the first couple weeks and then kind of playing with it. But the worst thing to do is to be super lenient and then you got to, yeah. Yep. You got to be kind of,
no, heel.
There you go. So just try giving him a leash correction backwards.
Heel.
There you go. So choke up on the leash, grab a little bit, and go backwards instead of up.
Backwards when I pull it. I thought you might start walking backwards.
No, yeah. Like pull it backwards. So go ahead and give him a little tug backwards.
Heel.
There you go. Because if he's jumping forward because he's nervous about the stim from the remote collar, then just do a couple of leash corrections to remind him, this is where I need you.
Okay.
And then you can, you know, reward. So what I want you to do is while walking, go ahead and take the remote collar off the lanyard. Or, I mean, off your neck. Go ahead and have him sit.
Sit.
The remote collar off your neck.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. So what I want you to practice is going through the motion of rewarding him. So what you're gonna do is your right hand's gonna go grab the leash where your left hand's holding, then your left hand's gonna give the reward. Okay? So you're gonna do that all while walking just to have a few practice runs.
Okay.
Okay? Go ahead.
I don't have any.
It's just pretend. It's just pretend, because I just want you to go through the motion.
So I'm just grab.
Yep. While walking. So grab it with your left hand. There you go. Left hand has the leash. You're walking. You want to give him a treat, so your right hand comes over, grabs the leash, left hand gives the treat. Perfect.
So we just keep walking.
Yep, and you just keep walking. I just wanted you to do that motion a couple times. That way you could feel what it's supposed to feel like. He's like, what, you got something for me?
I will. We're going to walk when we get home. Let Grandpa all these commands, and then he babysits you tomorrow.
Perfect. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Sit.
Nope. So all you have to do is push the button,
No.
pull the leash, sit,
Sit.
close the door, and we'll try it again. Nope. Sit.
Sit. Hold on.
Let him get a scratch.
That's okay.
Okay. Remind him sit.
Sit.
Remind him sit again.
Sit.
And then walk through. Oh, that's okay.
Nope.
So what I want you to do when you walk through, instead of stepping with your left foot first, step with your right foot, kind of turn towards him. Remind him sit.
Sit. Okay, so remind him now.
Yep.
Sit.
And then one more time.
Sit.
Remind him sit and kind of walk through. And kind of face him. There you go.
Sit.
Then you can tell him F-R-E-E.
Free dog.
There you go. Good job.
Good job. Good place.
And then you're going to tell him free and kind of lead him off.
Free.
There you go. Perfect. Now all I want you to do is put him back onto the bed.
I don't have a reward.
That's okay.
Place.
Good. And then you can just give him a pat. You can drop the leash. And you can kind of, yep, just walk around. So we've got the grill going over there. That's what I smelled earlier. I was like trying to figure out who's cooking. And yeah, there's no time limit. You can have them on there for up to 2 hours. There's not really a time limit. I say that because that's about how long a movie is. I would just say a minimum 20 minutes a day. You can do as many times as you want. You do 2 10-minute sessions. You can do a 5 and a 15. Whatever's easier for you. And he sees Layla. He's like, well, I want to say hi to her.
Can I remind him from over here that he's doing a good job?
Yeah, you say good place.
Good place.
All that, see how he checks in. That's all that's doing is just telling him, I like what you're doing, keep doing it. Eventually you're gonna get a reward. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. Josey! Josey, hi! Perfect. Backing up, sit, and reward. Good job. So let me do another one.
Okay.
And this time I want you to say the wrong word on purpose so you can see what you have to do to correct him.
Okay.
So you can
Like
say,
this?
yep, you can say any word you want, just don't let it become, because I want him to not listen to you so that you know what to do to correct him.
Okay.
Okay?
So what I'm going to say the wrong word. He's not going to C-O-M-E.
You're going to say no,
And I'm going to say no, and I'm going to hit S.
black S button, yep, and then you're going to repeat the command come.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to try and distract. Hey! Baby! Josey boy! Look at this.
Over here.
No.
Come.
Good. And reward.
Come. Come.
Keep praising him. There you go.
Good boy.
Nice.
Good job, buddy.
Perfect.